So what do we need to cut firewood? That's an MS-210C. And that's actually not a bad little saw because it has a little bit of oomph. It's no lumberjack saw, it's a homeowner saw. This is a 170. They make a 180 too. I think personally, if I was buying it brand new, I'd buy the 180. Well, they make other ones now. But now this one, it's 16-inch bar. I upgraded the chain to a little bit bigger chain. The same chain as this one's running. But this one just has a little more oomph. But this one weighs 7 pounds or something. And that one's a couple pounds more. Alright. So that's great for a lemon. Like when you get something like this fell down, you got these little limbs all up there. You don't have to hold that great big heavy saw up there. And just say this is your tree you fell down here. And you wanted to cut this up. And that's about all you're going to do with a chainsaw, you know. Put it away then, and next time something happens, any one of those saws, even at 170, you could cut this up. See, now that's a little bit hollow, but even if you had to cut it off at the end, if you couldn't cut all the way through, you could break pieces off. I mean, it'd be a lot more work. It'd be harder on the saw, but you could cut this all up with a 170. Now, when you do cut something down with a file like this, take your branches that's up in the air and stuff. They're free, you know what I mean? They're already standing up in the air. Cut those off first, limb the tree first, and then cut your big stuff up. Because that way you're not putting something on the ground, having to roll it around or pick it up on something or whatever. But now we also got, I should have brought my other saw. That would have been a good one to compare. A 441. But I got it on the sawmill thing right now. But that's an 029, that's an old saw. But that's about a 56 cc, I think. It's not bad. It's a little heavy, but it's perfect size for something like this. An MS-261 would be good. Or an MS-260. Now here's a Husqvarna 450 Rancher. And I don't know, we had this one running good and it set a little bit and tried to run it today and it didn't want to run as good. So we'll try that one too though. That's a 45 cc, I think, or something like that. Now for the average guy, that's a pretty nice saw because it doesn't have as much weight as some of the big saws, but you still got enough oomph that it would be easy with that 029 or this 450 Rancher. It would be pretty easy to cut all this up. Thing is, a small saw will do it, but you're putting a lot more load and stuff on the clutch and everything because you're running such a full chain of cutting, where the bigger saw has a little more power to do that. And then the small saw, you can still cut firewood, but it's going to be a lot slower. The bigger the saw, the faster you can cut, but the more weight you're holding up too. This one hasn't been started in a while. There again, see, this is out here all free, or someone holds it up for you. Now if you start getting into something bigger, yeah, that's not really a good example because that's half rotted inside. But see, for stuff like that, exactly what the 170 is made for. You could cut a little bit bigger, and we will get to something we'll cut a little bit bigger. Does this one run?
It did.
Maybe it did.
Earlier.
This we got that.
Easy pull.
Now keep in mind that this was a used chain. That one there was fairly new. So we went from, I don't even know what that 170 is, 30 cc? I don't know, I'll put the cc's on it. Now this one here, chain's not freshly sharp, but it's not real dull either. Now keep in mind that's got weight on it, so if you cut that, that tree can roll at you, so we'll leave that for now. This one has that up forest. It's got a brand new up forest chain on it. Actually cuts pretty good. Now here, cut that with that other saw because it was bigger. If you hear that saw, I did get it, that was me getting it pinched a little bit. So this is the 170. And I'm gonna cut a few, just some pieces off here, so we'll all be cutting about the same here. So that right there was the MS 170. Did you hear how it kind of dogged and how it took a little bit of time to go through? Here's that one. I like this saw. Man, I am not crazy about that easy start stuff at all. Complicated start for me. Now keep in mind too, this chain's had more use on it, so this ain't really fair either because we don't have all the same sharpness of chains, you know. Now that was better because it didn't dog down as much. And now we are a little bit duller of a chain. keep in mind some of that pensions the operator. But that's got a brand new full chisel Forester chain on it. Not Forester, but up Forester. It was just went bang, it went through there. Now this is the 029. I think it's 56 cc. It's the biggest one we got here. It was in 30s, the first two, and then that Husqvarna is 45, I believe. A 441, like cutting this tree down, you could have put a bigger bar on there. It'd been nice for that. It's nice for a little bit of the trunk, but to me, you know, each their own, but to me it's just more than you need for a firewood saw. If you get into 56 cc or something like that, up to a 60 cc saw, that's plenty for anything you should be cutting down probably. These little saws, the 170, the little Echo 310, stuff like that, those are awesome for when you cut something down. You can chop up all the limbs and stuff off of it, or if you just got some limbs in the backyard or something. Now if you're dogging that 170 in here to cut this whole tree up, dogging that saw is a whole lot harder on it than like that 029 running easily through there. That's just something to keep in mind. What do you need for a chainsaw for cut firewood? If you're heating your house, okay, and you're actually going to burn wood all winter long, I would say something like this 029. It's a 290, 291 or something now, but anywhere in the 56 cc range down to about a 45 cc is where you'd want to be. That would be a good all-round saw. And if you can, pick up a little saw just to do the limbs, and you'll be fine. You don't need that monster saw. The monster saw will cut faster, and we'll show you that, but you don't need the big mammoth saw.